Hi, boys and girls. Today's day 3, which is Wednesday, revising and editing. So today you will be doing revising. Remember, revising, you're adding, you are removing, or you're moving, or you are substituting in order to make your rough draft better. Good writers always improve their writing at all times. When you get done with revising, then you're going to move on to editing. Remember, when you're doing editing, you are correcting, fixing your mistakes. So that means you're fixing your capitalization, making sure you have proper nouns capitalized, the beginning of every sentences. Remember, anytime I is by itself, it's always capitalized. Your usage, that is your verb tenses, make sure your punctuation, you don't have any run-on sentences, and then correcting your spelling. Be sure and watch these 2 slides here and watch the videos that are on the slides. Um, this this one video that we've been following along all week long will, go through, and she will go through with revisions on her paper. And then this one is, of course, doing other additional practicing on what editing looks like. I'm going to show you today what editing will look like on our paper that we've been doing this week. So if you'll notice, I have right here, this is our paper that I wrote down, and it's the very first sentence I'm already noticing where I can make an improvement. For example, right here, we have 3 adjectives that are describing the ogre. A gentle giant green ogre lived near a village. It doesn't flow correctly. So, and I believe one of the reasons why it doesn't flow correctly is because green, the adjective green, should probably be at the beginning, just so that it sounds better. So I'm going to take my red pen here, and I'm going to do my little proofreader's marks where I'm making the changes, where I'm going to say, I want the word green, I want to move it over here by this part, okay, at the beginning. So at any time that we make changes, we always reread the sentence with the changes. So it should read, a green, gentle giant ogre lived near a village deep in the enchanted forest. Now that sounds better. Okay, so then I'm going to go through and I'm going to check my the rest of my paper and see where can I make some other improvements. And I know that I can make some other improvements where he goes into the enchanted garden. So it has, let's see, where is it? Okay, right here where it says, he saw one of the most beautiful gardens ever. The flowers were radiating brightly. So, this part right here is a good part that I feel like we can add um, figurative language, specifically because of I am noticing that this is giving me a little bit of an image in my head where I am picturing, the radiating um, flowers, glooming. And so I just kind of thought, well, what else radiates and glooms? And one of the things that comes to my mind is, twinkling stars. So I thought this would be a good spot for me to add in figurative language. So where it says the flowers were radiating brightly, and I'm going to put a simile, like a what? Twinkling star in the sky. So this part right here, where it says like a twinkling star in the sky, that right there is actually what I added in because that was not there before. Okay. Um, then, so I made two changes. I inserted and then I moved. Okay. So now I am going to go through and reread it. And if there's another place that you feel like you can insert, add, remove, feel free to do so and make sure that you're rereading every single time you're adding, okay? Making changes. So now I'm going to make some changes with my editing. So I'm looking now through my editor's lens. That means that I am now looking at it with checking for errors and mistakes. Well, right off the bat, since this is on a computer, I notice that the word luckily has a little squiggly line here. Now, I have several options. You can click on it. When you click on it, it gives you the same, another word that says lucky. So is that the word that I'm looking for? Lucky? Lucky for the ogre, he also had another important ingredient. Well, if that's not really the word I'm looking for, I'm actually looking for the word luckily. And so I know that lucky ends in Y, but I actually forgot to drop my Y and add I before I added my LY. Now it says luckily. So when I read this, it should say, he knew he had to travel there to get the exotic flowers to help him create a potion. Luckily for the ogre, he also had another important ingredient. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so I continue here and I also notice there's another squiggly line here. And so it says he traveled. Okay, so that's a verb. And I'm like, well, he traveled all day. And I'm like, yep, that's what I wanted. But then I noticed, oh, look right here. What tense am I writing in? I'm writing in past tense. So right here, what's the rule when a word, for the most part, when we want to make a word past tense, we just add an ed. So is that what I need here? And I do because I know that that's a consonant and you just add an ed after this consonant. Okay, so I made two editing corrections and there were spelling corrections. Okay, if I go through here and I look to see, well, are there any other corrections I can make? And I notice right here where it says, okay, when he arrived back home, he grinded the petals with diamond dust and placed the powder in his pouch. Well, when, right here, that is a subordinating conjunction. And here, when he arrived back home, here I should have a comma here because that is my dependent clause. And then right here, he grinded the petals with diamond dust and placed the powder in his pouch. And that right there is actually a compound predicate sentence. So I can put the compound predicate sentence together with my dependent clause as long as I put a comma there. Okay. Okay, so go back through your rough draft and see where you can make some changes to improve and also fix your mistakes. Okay, and make sure you're ready tomorrow because we are going to publish.